Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solution, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This is going to be the beginning of a couple of videos about something called accounts payable aging. And that's a term used in accounting to actually say, show a detail of what bills are due, spread maybe by dates, and also a detail of invoices due as of different months. We have that also in there. As of different dates, not months. But what I'd like to talk about for just a second before we open the AP aging window is how CHS controls accounts payable for accounting. And notice that on our list of accounts, on our chart of accounts that I have open here, I opened that under accounting. I scrolled down to where our current liability things are. We have an accounts payable trade balance, account number 2110, showing a credit balance of $64,582. That's because a credit balance means that is the balance of our open invoices as of today. It should be the balance of our open invoices. Now, if somebody comes along and posts a journal entry or something to that account, it may suddenly not tie to the list of our open invoices. And CHS has some tools for troubleshooting that and figuring it out. And if you do a journal entry and try to use this GL account, it will warn you that you probably shouldn't do that, because you're going to throw the list of invoices that we have entered, of open invoices that we have entered that aren't paid, won't tie if you suddenly do a journal entry and change the balance in this. The way CHS knows to use this GL account when you're posting accounts payable is by the fact that you set up control accounts and you tell it which account to use for posting accounts payable bills. So let's say you enter a bill, maybe it's for a job cost, so you have entered one side of it to your work in progress account maybe, or some job cost account you use for doing your accounting, or office supplies is one side, the GL account you use when you post the entry. Then when you tell it to post, CHS is posting offsetting entries to the accounts payable account. So if you leave it as unpaid, there will end up being a credit in the accounts payable account, which actually increases the accounts payable account. When you pay it, CHS will debit this accounts payable account, to lower it, and then credit or put a minus amount in your cash account. Accounts payable is just naturally what they call a credit account. In other words, it increases with credits, which means ones with minus signs. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out real quickly, because we will come back and we will be doing another video about if for some reason your list of unpaid invoices doesn't tie to that balance for accounts payable on your balance sheet, for example. So let's open the AP aging, and if those two don't tie, you could get a message right here, which you'll see. I'll force having a message telling you that you're out of balance here, but right now we're in balance. You haven't gone and messed with the AP 2110 account yourself and put entries in that CHS didn't put in. Basically, you're supposed to leave it alone and let CHS only put the entries in when you're creating payables, bills, etc. So the point of an aging in accounting, one of the basic points is to see where you're at, based on, have a spread from 30 days old, 60 days old, 90 days old. And that's one of the points. They have something called, and why it's called aging, to age these. So the first report, this should be this unpaid total when we do a report based on invoice dates through this date, which is today, and that's the balance that it's coming up with over there. It'll change based on the date. If I do based on invoice dates, and that means the GL date that you entered when you entered bills, it's going to show you a list of them that the GL date on these are only 30 days old. These are 31 to 60 days old. We don't have any 60 to 90 days. And over 90 days, we have this amount, 135, that has an older date on it, older GL invoice date. And these are all unpaid accounts payable as of this invoice date, dated through, with a GL date dated through this date. Now notice what happens if I use the next button down. It will not be this amount, because this is based on showing us invoices through a certain due date. So when I open this, you'll see that this is only 11,348 because this said this is based on due dates, not on balance in the AP, and it's not based on invoice dates. So it's just showing us bills that are posted as due now or earlier. So it would make sense that on today, we probably have several that have a due date maybe of April 30th or April 15th. Today it's April 2nd. So those would not be showing up on here. So if you're interested in spreading it, these are just showing you due dates through to today, which could show you how old they're getting and that there's the same over 90 days. But let's see what happens and watch these numbers too. If I change the date right now to April 30th, you'll see this number change a little bit. And if you do based on due dates, maybe we don't have any due after April 30th, 64. So this is telling me we don't, 64, 580, 282. It's not changing for later dates. So this would give you a picture as of 4/30 how old these were getting based on their due date. So don't expect this based on due dates to tie to this number. It's only showing you invoices that are due through today, that have accounts payable due dates due through today. Through the date that you have up here, not necessarily today, but when you first open it, these two will probably not match. Now what I'd like to talk about is how handy accounts payable aging can be for an accountant trying to tie your unpaid payables to the balance on your balance sheet as of year end, trying to just get the proof behind the accounts payable balance. So let's, and you do have to use the calendar on this particular window, and there's just a reason for that, for how sensitive the date is here to preparing these accounts payable. So let's, on that date, apparently our accounts payable and in our control account 2110 is this amount, and our unpaid list of invoices is the same amount. So we could do an aging report, but probably that's not what we're so interested in right now as the accountant trying to tie. But it is a quick list of what all the balances were as of 12/31, summed up. But one thing that an accountant might find very useful is to do this list grouped by vendor. So it shows in the list of all unpaid as of this date, even, that's even if they were paid in January or something. CHS can go give that accountant a list of what the open invoices were and a detail of all of those. So that's really handy. I've heard of various different programs that can't really accomplish this unless it's current day. They can't go back and get a date. So I did some programming and I said, show me all the ones that were unpaid as of 12/31/50, or as of any date that you choose, and give me a list of those so that I can give that to my accountant doing my taxes or proving my books or making sure my books are right. Now there's another really handy report that groups them instead of by vendor but by GL account. This could be handy, especially if you're trying to be on a cash basis and you don't want accounts payable accrued, and your accountant outside is trying to sort of make their own little financial statement and reverse these off, so they can see where they should which GL accounts they should reverse them out of outside of CHS for some sort of balance sheet that's on a cash basis. Any accountant watching this will understand this about how they could use the totals here for each GL account to post a little reversal. So they'd take it, this 79,777 out of accounts payable, make it zero because they want to be on a cash basis. If you have an accounts payable balance, you don't have accounts payable balances on a cash basis books, actually. It's just based on what you've paid. So they need to reverse it just for something they're handing to somebody or trying to figure out cash basis for your tax return. So this gives them a good list grouped by GL number that could really help them out. And they'll understand this list if you give it to them and be thrilled about it. Then there's just another little bit of interesting reports grouped by job. It just groups all the open invoices as of the date I selected. You can see job and then job, job, and then it starts in with the various vendors. You can see our demo job going on here. These are all open invoices as of 12/31/2015, grouped by job. And then in case you're really trying to figure out something about what's open by department, because you're running different divisions or departments for financials, there's a report of these grouped by department. So there's department custom homes and how many were open on 12/15 for the custom homes department and how many were open for the overhead department. You can set up whatever departments you like. So you might have several here, and there might be some reason you want to see what was open as of some certain date. So that's basically what there is to accounts payable aging and detail and the reports that are available, which some can be real handy to your outside CPA, looking at your open invoices as of certain dates, or if you're studying to see what invoices are getting old. Anyway, that's about it for accounts payable aging as far as its general use. And I'll come back and do a video, and I'll purposely make this out of balance and show you how you can look for that, why you're out of balance, and how you get alerts about that and how to handle that. Thank you for watching.